So this book is absolutely fantastic. Like, it far blew away my expectations of what I expected first reading it. It is, wow, what's it called? A Conflict of Visions by Thomas Sowell. And this is actually the third part of an unofficial trilogy, the first being The Quest for Cosmic Justice. I've already done a review of that on my channel. I'll leave a link in the description. The other one is the Vision of the Anointed, which I've not read yet. But we're talking about this one, A Conflict of Visions, which goes through this dichotomy, this political dichotomy of the unconstrained versus constrained visions. And this is kind of like a lot of people have applied different ways of analyzing like left versus right, like left wing versus right wing in terms of politics. But this kind of, it doesn't claim to be that. It doesn't claim to overlap that. It just says, here's a different dichotomy, something different, constrained versus unconstrained. And it fully admits, hey, there's loads of exceptions, as the case with any dichotomy of trying to take all of these ideas, many of them in certain ways self-contradictory, and putting it all into this dichotomy. You're going to get exceptions, the two most notable being Marxism and utilitarianism. And then he does point out as well certain other ideologies. It's kind of hard to fit it exactly into a box, but he describes it as a spectrum, not necessarily two specific positions, but more it can be a spectrum. Certain people are towards the center, some people are just like left wing versus right wing. You can be along this axis. It's not just a simple you're one or the other. And basically, he goes through the unconstrained vision being the idea that human nature is more malleable, that essentially you're focused more on results, you're more about getting the results you want and the intent of the results, that thing. And the constrained vision, then on the opposite side, is more concerned about the process, more concerned about the means of which we get there. So the clearest vision of this, I would say, is in law and social justice, but we'll get to that too. That's where this book is really helpful. Is its analysis on social justice. If you read any part of this book, read the social justice part. It's fantastic. But essentially, if you look at law, you have these two different fields. And now I'm not a lawyer, so there's probably many more. It's probably more complex than this. But essentially, you have the textualists, the people that are like, we should go like Scalia, the people that say, I don't care about results. I just want to make sure the procedure, the rule of law is preserved. I want to make sure the system is done right. Whatever the results, the system must be done right. It must be justice. That is essentially what they believe. That's the constrained view, whereas the unconstrained view is more, they care less about they care more about judicial activism, the idea of, can we twist this to get the result we want? Like, can we get the results? That's what's important, the results. It's not even, that's what they're concerned about more. And in terms of social justice, as we'll see, let's say you have a perfectly fair meritocratic system that is not biased at all, and yet, let's say a certain population of people is more or less represented. Like, something's totally unbiased, and yet women are 30%, as opposed to 50%, and that's a problem. Well, the constrained view says, well, as long as the system is meritocratic and fair, I don't care about the result. That's just the result. Whereas the unconstrained vision says that's racist. Because who cares about the process? Who cares about the procedure? The result is bad, and that needs solved. So this is a very brief summary. I already went over time, but that's just a glimpse into it. It's a fantastic book. I highly recommend. He does such a great job of, even though I know where he probably lies, he doesn't give it away in the book. Like, he's non-biased. I read The Quest for Cosmic Justice. That's a biased analysis of this. And he clearly gives his position, whereas he simply lays out the two sides, and I love that. But let me know what you think in the comments section. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and thanks for watching.